Hello! Gomez and Morticia Addams are going through a difficult time with their daughter, Wednesday, who has no desire to communicate with the family. Concerned about his daughter's indifference, Gomez suggests that the family go on a hot tour across America, which he believes will strengthen the relatives' relationship. However, the possible family idol is threatened when a lawyer suddenly shows up on their doorstep before they leave, informing them that Wednesday's real parents are looking for her. In a gloomy laboratory, a mad scientist prepares for another monstrous study. Unknown person wearing rubber gloves prepares his subject for a psychological transformation by extracting brain fluid from the victim and mixing it with the DNA of a giant octopus. Placing the samples in a centrifuge, the madman concocts a green cocktail, which he triumphantly raises over his head. This scientist is Wednesday Addams, and the whole action takes place in a science fair tent at school, where the rest of the students don't treat the smart, gloomy girl too kindly. The appearance of the other members of the Addams family diverts the attention from the rehearsal of the girl's grand show.
Hello, everyone!
Wearing a medical gown and goggles, Wednesday introduces the subject, the chubby Uncle Fester, who has a markedly low intelligence. Unlike the second subject, cephalopod Socrates, Wednesday intends to give her beloved uncle the mental abilities of the cephalopod. Mixing a potent cocktail, she offers it to Fester. His DNA chain is instantly rearranged, and the chubby man easily solves the puzzle, no longer trying to swallow it instead. At the end of the fair, the participants gather for the awards ceremony, where the eminent investor Cyrus Strange, who surprises everyone by appearing as a hologram, is to announce the winner of the contest. The arrogant Wednesday, confident of her victory, rashly steps forward as the announcer solemnly declares the winner of the science fair.
This year we are embracing a new philosophy. Just trying makes you a winner.
And while the other children grab their well-deserved medals, frustrated Wednesday laments the injustice. To alleviate her frustration, Cyrus Strange attempts to offer the girl a tempting scientific collaboration, but Wednesday refuses, unwilling to share her outstanding work. In the evening in her room, Wednesday is chatting with the clever Socrates about her future great achievements in the scientific world, planning to move to the mountains with her cephalopod partner. She starts by using a voodoo doll to wring the head of her little brother, Pugsley, who is practicing his pickup skills on a homemade stone-headed mannequin in his room. The silence of the Addams house is broken by the call of their grandmother for the evening ritual meal. Fat Fester rushes to the first floor to get the larger portion, but suddenly stumbles over the tentacle that emerged from under the hem of his coat and rolls down the stairs. Having miraculously ended up at the table, Fester begins to eat bread while Morticia reads to her husband a letter from Wednesday, in which she formally informs her parents that she will come down for dinner.
Why is she avoiding us? All I ever do is try to love and support her.
Frustrated by Wednesday's cold detachment, Gomez Addams tries to figure out how to mend his relationship with his daughter. His gloomy thoughts lead him to the brilliant idea of going on a family vacation and seeing this spooky world and all its grim and harsh locals. The next morning, the Addams family is already loading their mini suitcases into the antique hearse, carried by the obliging Lurch. However, the family's departure is delayed by a curly-haired Mr. Mastella, presenting himself as the lawyer of a couple from California who believe that their child has been switched at the maternity hospital. The stranger asks to immediately accompany Wednesday for a DNA test. Gomez and Morticia chase the intrusive man away and return to the house to pack their last items, convinced that this is all planned by Wednesday to derail the trip. Then the girl shows up at the door of the hearse, insisting on explaining what she had heard, clearly taking her parents by surprise. Awkwardly avoiding an answer and leaving the house in the care of the grandmother, the Addams parents solemnly announce the start of the vacation, and the hearse, with Thing at the wheel, sets off at full speed. Enthusiastic about the family adventure, Gomez announces his plan to the travelers. First, they visit the witch town of Salem, then sweep chaotically across the country and reach the final stop of their journey, Death Valley, just outside Love Vegas. At this point, the happy family is not yet aware that they have an intrusive Mr. Mastella on their tail, whom the customer will murder if the man doesn't deliver Wednesday to him. At the wheel of the hearse, Thing is kept company by the chatty Uncle Fester. When he sees a Niagara Falls billboard on the side of the road, he suddenly takes the wheel over and navigates the hearse on the road to the landmark. In the morning, trying to explain his actions, Fester stares mesmerized into the falling tons of water and waves a purple tentacle in front of Gomez that has grown in place of his hand. Wednesday, unhappy with the sunny weather and the crowd of friendly vacationers around her, tries to amuse herself by torturing her younger brother. Having brought the voodoo puppet of Pugsley with her, she performs ruthless tricks on him, eventually throwing the poor guy off the observation deck of Niagara Falls. The remaining members of the family have to jump off in barrels to escape the pursuit of the annoying Mastella. After surviving the deadly ride, the Addams family gets back on their course. In the evening, the family gathers around the campfire, where Gomez excitedly tells horror stories, frightening Pugsley. Uncle Fester also joins the activity with his story about Wednesday's birth. The chubby man tells how he wandered into the neonatal ward to see his niece, but accidentally woke up all the babies in the room. He tried to put them all to sleep with the Addams trademark trick, and then he thinks put all the babies in their cribs correctly. Horrified by what they hear, Gomez and Morticia realize that Mostella's words may be true, and the parents' secret conversation about it is overheard by their ubiquitous little bat. After reaching the next destination of their plan, the Addams family relaxes on a beach in Miami, where Wednesday prepares another torture for her little brother, a sand guillotine. While the parents and children sunbathe on the sand, Uncle Fester scares off other swimmers by putting on a shark fin. However, his impressive stunt pales in comparison to the appearance of the Addams cousin, who makes a spectacular arrival on the sunny beach to join their journey.
What the ladies say? Ladies, what the ladies say?
The newly reunited Addams family is already slicing through Texas when Mr. Mostella and his bulky bodyguard show up on their tail again. This time, Gomez and Morticia manage to get rid of them for a while, but this event doesn't escape Wednesday's prying eyes. Looking for a place to rest, the family moves into a small Texas hotel where the parents send their daughters to participate in the Miss Pepper Jalapeno beauty pageant and dress up in fancy national costumes themselves, trying to blend in with the crowd of locals. In a blonde wig and pink dress, Wednesday blends in with the other contestants, and Mr. Mostella, who appears without noticing her, is about to leave when the little villain gives herself away. In the ensuing commotion, Lurch pulls Wednesday out of the scuffle, and the Addams family, jumping into their hearse in a jiffy, is once again successful in evading pursuit. On the road, the daughter tries to get the information about the man who is chasing them out of her parents, but Gomez once again shamelessly lies to her. After stopping at the Grand Canyon, the Addams family goes out for a tour. At the observation deck, Morticia gives Wednesday a gift, a family pendant passed down from generation to generation by women in their family. Increasingly doubtful of her kinship with the Addams family, the girl accepts the gift nonetheless. The sentimental moment is interrupted by Pugsley, who has put on a grand explosive show in the Grand Canyon, which of course has drawn the attention of the weasel Mostella. After luring him into a trap, Wednesday discovers who gave the clingy lawyer the assignment. It turns out to be Cyrus Strange, who thinks Wednesday is his child, lost for years. After listening to his arguments about the resemblance in appearance and intelligence, and pulling a couple of hairs from Gomez at night for a DNA test, Wednesday becomes convinced that the Addamses are not her parents.
I am not an Addams.
After informing the Addams family of her discovery in a farewell letter, Wednesday, along with Lurchie, travels to Cyrus Strange's home in California. In the meantime, the relentless Gomez and Morticia are planning to go on a high-stakes chase to get their daughter back. Crossing the hot valley of death on foot, Wednesday and Lurch encounter a gang of aggressive bikers at a roadside cafe who entertain themselves with pool, cards, and fist-bumping each other. Appearing on the doorstep of the diner, Wednesday insults the bikers, intending to take their bikes away from them so she can get to Strange faster. However, the giant Lurch misunderstands the command to show what his dead-cold hands are capable of, and instead of a hand-to-hand showdown, he sits down at the piano.
Hands on your back from outer space.
The expected bloody fight turns into a friendly dance with everybody present taking part. In addition, Wednesday discovers that the bikers are also on their way to Sausalito and accepts their offer to give her and Lurchie a ride. The next morning, the pair arrive at the eminent scientist's luxurious mansion where he kindly welcomes his named daughter, along with his wife Ingrid, who looks more like a wild bird, and his daughter Ophelia, who looks incredibly similar to the Addams' son Pugsley. Without further ado, Cyrus takes Wednesday to his state-of-the-art, high-tech laboratory for a DNA test, which in a short time produces a report of a complete match of the samples. Father and daughter have finally found each other. The scientist's momentary jubilation is interrupted by an image on the screen of the Addams family hearse arriving at the gates. Gomez, Morticia, Pugsley, and Thing bravely make their way to the doorstep, leaving Uncle Fester, who is feeling very unwell, in the car. The family is greeted by Lurch, who is now dressed in a turtleneck and white robe, just like Wednesday and Cyrus. Taking out his sword, Gomez declares that they have come to rescue their kidnapped daughter, but the girl shows them the results of the DNA test, which confirms that she is not an Addams. However, Wednesday cannot bear to say goodbye to her family right away, and suggests that they spend the night at the mansion to part ways for good in the morning. Lurch leads the Addams family into the guest room, which is decorated with numerous pictures of Cyrus and Wednesday together. And as a finishing touch, they find a golden monument of the reunited family members.
Oh, Tish, we've lost our little girl.
While his parents mourn their loss, Pugsley responds to Ophelia's call, inviting him into her room, which looks like an actual pigsty. Impressed by the encounter with his soulmate, the ever-hungry Pugsley happily agrees to offer to eat, and the couple rushes to munch on bread from the pig trough in the girl's room, when suddenly Ophelia's face turns into a horrible pig snout. Shocked by what he just saw, Pugsley reports his discovery to his parents, who realize that Cyrus must be deceiving them. The villain himself appears before them. Strange confirms their suspicions and tells them that he actually wants to get hold of Wednesday's work in human and animal experiments, which he has been seeking to acquire after what he saw at the school science fair. After sedating the Addams family, Cyrus returns to the lab, where Wednesday has already deduced for him the perfect chemical formula for transforming an animal into a human. Squealing with delight, Strange declares that he has a surprise for his daughter and presents to the girl her relatives, imprisoned in glass flasks, who may become the first victims of their laboratory research. Cyrus, now completely losing his mind, reveals to Wednesday the truth about his true intentions.
How rich and famous we'll become! All thanks to your experiment!
However, he does not manage to convince the girl to carry out his villainous plan. Wednesday intends to save the Addams family and orders Lurchie to disarm the madman. In response, the mad scientist unleashes his enraged giant Pongo. After rushing at each other to deliver a crushing blow, the opponents suddenly embrace tightly instead of fighting. To the shocked Cyrus, Wednesday explains that they were asylum cellmates, and it was Pongo who warned Wednesday of the danger back in Texas. After twisting the scoundrel in the form of a basketball, Lurch and Pongo smash the glass flasks with it. The Addamses are set free, and the mad scientist is exposed to his own experimental chemical. However, after that, Cyrus turns into a huge mutant rooster with bull horns, which can easily tear apart the reunited family. Luckily, the beloved Uncle Fester, who turned into a giant octopus because of Wednesday's experiment, enters the fight. The two opponents are equal in strength to the very last moment, and in the heat of the battle, they both fall into an abyss, from which, clinging with suction cups of his tentacles to the edge, Uncle Fester climbs out of, using all his remaining strength. Collapsing to the floor, the exhausted uncle is living out his final minutes in front of his family. But clever Wednesday comes up with a way to save Fester. From the pendant around her neck, she draws blood collected from all the Addams family members and immediately prepares an antidote. Having regained his human form, Fester announces his return to life with a loud burp. Wednesday apologizes to her parents, sealing the truth with a big hug, which she hates so much. Taking Ophelia with them, the Addams family heads home, and on their return finds themselves at a crazy flying bath party organized by their energetic grandmother. Back at home, Wednesday is trying to find out from her father why the DNA test was negative. Gomez lost his hair in a bad napalm experiment years ago and has been wearing a wig from Bigfoot's fur ever since. As always, you'll find the name of the movie in the description of the video. And let us know in the comments, did you believe that Wednesday really might not be an Addams? Or was there no doubt from the very beginning? And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next awesome retelling. Watch an interesting movie in a few minutes without rewind? Easy!
We got a great looking audience tonight.
The Sweet Popcorn channel has a mega convenient format waiting just for you. Short retellings of movies, from auteur films to Hollywood blockbusters. Pick up your unlimited ticket by clicking the subscribe button.